Um, and then, so finally, the last thing I want to say is what I always say is that if you are a Black owned business or you know a Black owned business, please put that Black owned business in the comments. You already know why. It's important that we support Black owned businesses. I said this over the weekend and people were kind of shocked by it, but we always have these talking points, especially amongst Black people, that we don't spend money with Black people, that we have, that if Black people, if we were a nation, we would be the fourth largest nation because of the amount of spending power that we have. As of 2025, we have $2 trillion in spending power. I don't know if you know, but we have Black folks have $2 trillion in spending power. We only spend 2% of our spending power with Black owned businesses. And so we pontificate ad nauseum about that. The problem with that talking point is we don't tell the other side. The other side is that there are not enough Black owned businesses for us to spend our money with. And it's not because we're just lazy. We don't want to start Black owned businesses. There have been barriers that have been put in place over the years, over the last century. You know that we've had towns and cities and areas and communities where we have Black owned businesses. And every time you have a situation where you have Black excellence versus white mediocrity, what happens? White mediocrity, backed by white supremacy and the system and the government, right? Because we know in Black Wall Street, not only was it burned down, but it was bombed. They have the support. White mediocrity and jealousy has the support of the system to attack our businesses, and that's what's happened historically. But it's a new day, it's a new time, and we have been reeling from that from the last 50 years. And so it's a new day and it's a new time. So now, today, what we need to do is we need to be very intentional about starting Black owned businesses, supporting one another. I don't know if you know, but Black people get less than 1% of the venture capital funds that are set aside for businesses. So you have small businesses and you have venture capital funding, because without funding, it's hard for a business to grow when they're trying to bootstrap. It is extremely hard for businesses to grow by bootstrapping. So what happens is a lot of these companies, they get venture capital funds. They get people to invest in them. I'll tell you, for me, building the largest Black owned real estate firm in California, my business really started to take off when I stopped bootstrapping and when I started using other people's money to grow and build my business. And that's important. And so as business owners, we don't have the same support as Black owned businesses as, our white counterparts do. So when we do, and there also is a Black tax, right? That's placed upon Black businesses. Think about this. Think about, especially, so say the hair care business is $1 trillion business. Asians are making trillions of dollars off of our hair. So I'll go into Ebony's Beauty Supply, which is not Ebony at all. It's not owned by anybody that looks like an Ebony. It is owned by an Asian person. I'll go in there. I'll get followed around the store. I'm already a suspect. Okay. I go in there, I patronize them. But then if you have a Black business, a black person, say a Black woman like myself, and she wants to open up a hair business, she's not going to get the same deals. She doesn't have the same access as that Asian business. And so then therefore her products are a lot more. And so what we as Black people don't realize is we think Black people are just being we're just charging more for our prices, but you don't know that we're taxed at a higher cost than our Asian counterparts in the same business. And so therefore that cost goes on to our customers. But sometimes we have to be a little bit more intentional about, okay, this is the reason why. This is the reason why we know that there's a different point of entry, a barrier of entry to those businesses. So the costs can be more.